Good morning, everybody. I'm going to do something a little different here today in showing a knife from Andersen Forge, and I'm sure that there's going to be many people here who have, actually most of the people who are going to watch this video have never bought a knife from me, so or those who may be interested in buying one have never seen how a knife from Andersen Forge gets delivered. I'm going to show you a knife here that is on my current available list. And this is the way that people receive their knives from me. That all my knives are shipped in a wooden box to resist any type of damage from shipping. And all my knives come in a zippered pouch. And depending on, I can't be real honest right up front. I don't spend the money on every one of these pouches with the Stitch logo. This usually goes on with my knives that I take to knife shows and the higher end stuff. I gotta draw the line somewhere, we all do. But this is an example of one of my Stitch logo sheaths and one of my zip logo pouches. And what will be inside is not only the knife and the sheath, but a lot of people may not know that my knives disassemble to a large percentage, and my current assembly requires the use of an Allen wrench. There was a time when I made specific tools that might be very disadvantageous if they were lost. So now these days I've required an assembly where I've designed an assembly that doesn't require anything other than an Allen wrench, which you can see in the rear, an assembly which I make. This particular knife is by the way, is a Kingwood Sanmai. Sanmai meaning basically it's a three-part sandwich. It's a three-part sandwich with a tool steel core and jacketed on either side by a sheet of stainless steel. Now it creates a rather unique design from one knife to the next. And in addition to that, the entire area of the forged core that is covered with stainless steel is then rendered corrosion and rust resistant. Nice little combination of ideas there. With the insertion of the Allen wrench in the back end of the handle, I have a receiver area which receives a shouldered stainless steel finial that's threaded either 1032 or I also use 1228 on my larger knives, and it's a silver brazed stainless steel socket head cap screw, and this allows the knife then to be removed from the assembly. The fitted guard is a stainless steel guard slotted to fit the guard shoulder area. And from the guard to the handle, I have, in this particular one, I have 1/16 inch roll pins. The handle is file fitted to the tang and guard shoulder area of the knife, which unto itself, with nothing else, has no play. There's no play in the handle to the guard area. It's file fitted. 1032 threaded tang. This is a I don't know if, there we go. See, it's a perfect friction fit. Perfect friction fit on the knife. There's a zero tolerance fit. When slid into place, ooh, that was nice right there. Now what this allows us to do, number one, is I don't have any cross lateral stresses on the handle material with pins and bolts. And for example, I might make this knife here in Illinois Like for instance, today it's I think it's 12 degrees outside, probably incredibly low humidity. Everything's very dried out in my shop. And let's say somebody bought this who lives in Louisiana or Hawaii, and it gets there, and I don't care how much care we give knife handle material, it can move around. And this thing wanted to swell up, or the reverse. I made it in the summer when it's very humid and sell it to somebody in Arizona and it wants to shrink. We get cracks and stuff, and we have to worry about joints. But in this case, all I have to do is release any tension on the finial. We can loosen this knife up like so and just let it relax. While it's in storage, that handle material is free to move, expand or contract at will, and it's never at any time under any stress. I did just recently learn a little secret that I'll pass on here to some knife makers, is that and I found this on a woodworking site. I've always considered the thought of using, seriously, I'm not kidding now, beeswax to make these things watertight, water resistant, environment proof. But beeswax is hard. Well, I found a method of melting beeswax and folding in literally olive oil to it, which makes it very, very pliable and soft. And beeswax does not melt until 160 degrees. And you can literally butter up the mating joints, tighten this thing together, and this knife is 100% waterproof. I have tested these things until I'm tired of testing with stresses and so forth, and quite honestly, this is the strongest knife assembly I know, is a full mechanical assembly. A lot of people just, you know, it seems like the knife world sometimes is the epoxy world. Everybody's worried about how you epoxy this and epoxy that. And I don't depend on epoxy for my knife assemblies. I use pins and bolts and threads, and I want to know that thing's held together no matter what, and will allow me to take care of my knife inside and out. Personally, I think it's the way to go. And this knife right here, of course, is currently available on my available page at andersenforge.com. Don't forget, Andersen, Andersen Forge. And I am Carl at Andersen Forge. Thanks for watching my demonstration.